Hollow Creek, West Virginia, a place so quiet, so ordinary, that most Americans had never even heard of it. The kind of town where doors were left unlocked, and the biggest event of the year was the county fair. But on the morning of July 14, 2002, that peace shattered. A fisherman walking along the Elk River spotted something strange tangled in the reeds. At first, he thought it was debris from a storm. But as he drew closer, he froze. It wasn't debris. It was the lifeless body of a young woman. The police were called immediately. Within an hour, the riverbank buzzed with flashing lights, yellow tape, and whispers among the townsfolk who had gathered to see what had happened. No one expected that this discovery would spark the darkest investigation in Hollow Creek's history. The victim was quickly identified as 22-year-old Rachel Monroe. She was a local girl who had left for college but returned home for the summer. Bright, ambitious, and full of energy, Rachel was known as the kind of person who lit up a room. She dreamed of becoming a journalist, of leaving Hollow Creek behind for the opportunities of the city. Her sudden death shocked the community. The police initially considered the possibility of an accident, or perhaps she had slipped and drowned. But the autopsy told a different story. Bruises on her wrists and defensive wounds on her arms revealed the truth. Rachel had been murdered. When a young woman is killed in a small town, suspicion naturally turns inward. Who was the last to see Rachel alive? Who might have wanted to hurt her? Investigators learned that Rachel had attended a local bar the night before her death. Witnesses recalled seeing her laughing with friends but also arguing with someone near the exit. The man she argued with was identified as her ex-boyfriend, Daniel Whitaker. Daniel had a reputation in Hollow Creek. Charismatic but short-tempered, he had struggled with jealousy throughout his relationship with Rachel. When questioned, he claimed he had gone home early and hadn't seen Rachel after the argument. Still, the shadow of suspicion settled firmly on him. The FBI soon joined the investigation due to irregularities in the local police department. Hollow Creek had a history of corruption scandals, and the sheriff himself had been accused of burying cases in the past. Rachel's parents, distrusting local authorities, demanded outside help. As federal investigators combed through Rachel's life, a more complicated picture emerged. She wasn't just the innocent small-town girl everyone thought she was. In her final weeks, Rachel had been researching a controversial local case involving illegal land deals and missing town funds. Was her death connected to what she had discovered? The deeper the FBI dug, the more secrets bubbled to the surface. Rachel had been keeping a journal, and in its pages, she described late-night phone calls, mysterious threats, and a growing fear that someone was watching her. In one entry, she wrote, "If something happens to me, it won't be an accident." Her notes pointed toward Hollow Creek's mayor and several business leaders who had been embezzling town development funds. Rachel had been working on a piece that could ruin reputations and end careers. Now, the question wasn't just who killed her but why. Attention returned to Daniel Whitaker. Phone records revealed that despite his claims of going home early, his phone had pinged near the riverbank at the approximate time of Rachel's death. Worse, a neighbor spotted his truck parked near the woods not far from the scene. But when investigators pressed him, Daniel insisted he had been set up. He claimed Rachel had confided in him about dangerous people in town, people who wanted her silenced. He swore he loved her, despite their rocky past, and that he would never hurt her. Was Daniel lying to save himself, or was he telling the truth about a larger conspiracy? After months of investigation, Daniel was arrested and charged with Rachel's murder. The trial became the biggest event Hollow Creek had ever seen. Reporters filled the courthouse. Locals lined up outside for a chance to witness justice. The prosecution painted Daniel as a jealous ex-boyfriend who snapped when Rachel rejected him. They presented phone records, witness statements, and forensic evidence tying him to the scene. But the defense countered with Rachel's journal, arguing that she had been targeted for uncovering corruption. They claimed the case against Daniel was circumstantial, that the real killers were the powerful men Rachel had angered. The courtroom became a battleground, with Rachel's memory at the heart of it all. Just when it seemed the case was tilting against Daniel, a bombshell dropped. A whistleblower from the mayor's office came forward, revealing that Rachel had obtained incriminating documents about the town's financial fraud. Even more shocking, a hidden tape recorder was found in Rachel's belongings. On it, a voice could be heard threatening her, warning her to keep quiet or end up in the river. The voice didn't belong to Daniel. It belonged to the town's sheriff, the very man who had first responded to the crime scene. The revelation changed everything. The jury acquitted Daniel of murder, but the case against the sheriff was only beginning. The FBI arrested him, along with two local officials connected to the embezzlement scheme. Though Rachel's death remained clouded in mystery, it was clear she had uncovered something powerful enough to cost her life. While Daniel walked free, Hollow Creek's trust in its leaders was shattered forever. Years have passed since Rachel Monroe's body was pulled from the river, but the people of Hollow Creek still speak of her in hushed tones. The town was forever changed by her death, and by the secrets it exposed. For Rachel's family, justice feels incomplete. The sheriff may have been convicted of corruption, but the exact details of Rachel's final hours remain uncertain. Did he act alone, or were there others involved in silencing her? In the end, Hollow Creek became a cautionary tale of small-town corruption, of power abused, and of a young woman whose pursuit of truth cost her everything. Her story reminds us that even in the quietest of places, darkness can hide in plain sight.